Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. The next time I read the words Tom Brady and extension in the same sentence, it better be about him enhancing his micro-penis perna. I really thought 2021 would be his final season. And as he loves to do, Tom intentionally ruined my day by guaranteeing he'll be in the NFL through 2022. What was that? You shut your stupid square little mouth! Shut up! Shut up! Retire! Just stop playing! Just stop! You've got nothing left to prove! Except that you could be f***ing old! What else do you want to do except not spend time with your family? Sometimes he just won't shut up. You can hear him, right? You can hear him. Please, somebody could. Today I will discuss the real surprise, Cam Newton returning to the Patriots, Brady's extension, and yes, you can still donate to the Alzheimer's Association. The link is in the description. My sister works there, so it's an organization I trust. And even though we've already crushed our goal of raising over $10,000, I wanted everyone to know we're currently 10th in the nation for the amount of money we have raised. And I want to get into the top 5. Do you think Tom Brady would be okay being 10th? I sure as hell wish he would, but he would not. And yes, I will still destroy this. We don't have to raise any more money for me to destroy his smug, blocky face. I'm gonna do that in April, but if we can raise a little more cash and get into the top 5, that would be awesome. Tom Grossi dropped a ton of money to the charity. 5 points donated. So if you haven't yet, consider it. And if you can't afford to donate, share the video, promote it, do whatever you can to spread the word. No matter what, it's going to a good cause. And yes, this Lego head, when I do make the video about it in April, will be awesome. All right, that's good sports. All right, football. Earlier in the week, I made fun of Bleacher Report for asking if Kenny Golladay should be paired with Cameron Newton, because Cam was, at the time, unemployed.
Free agent, you're free agent. You about to be pulled. I'm rich. You about to be pulled.
And I really didn't think he'd be returning to the Patriots this season. I didn't know where he would go because there was zero buzz about him as a target for any team. But we now know he's returning to the evil empire on a 1-year deal worth roughly $14 million, which I actually think is a pretty damn fair deal for both parties. A true rarity in the NFL. If Thomas Brady was the Darth Vader at the evil empire in New England, it feels like Cameron Newton is Hayden Christensen. Opinions about him are all over the place with plenty of hate to go around, but damn, if Cam eventually learns to use that hate to channel it through the Force, much like Hayden, he too can dominate, even without an arm. If Cam tries to hold on to the Superman moniker though, and not convert to the Star Wars universe, he's going to fail. My Hayden Christensen analogy is great. Maybe too good, really. But Cam should probably go by Moff Gideon to fit in. Or maybe he could go by the Mandalorian since he's sort of an outsider there for hire. Nerd stuff. Now, if you watched I Am Athlete, Brandon Marshall, Chad Johnson, Fred Taylor, and Channing Crowder's show on YouTube, when they featured Cam, then you would have learned he wanted to return to New England, so this shouldn't surprise you. He actually liked it there for some weird fucking reason, but also, I think he wants to prove he can run that offense. I think he believes he can be much better now that he has an understanding of the system and a year of experience with it, and probably hopes that they'll bring in some playmakers on offense to help him. Beyond that, the Patriots will be getting like 8 or 9 guys back who opted out last season. So they should be better all around. And it's like all of those Brady loyalists out there with their lips firmly around Tom Brady's GOAT status forget that little detail about the Pats last year. Speaking of Brady, even he admitted learning a new system was much more difficult than he anticipated. And Bruce Arians, Byron Leftwich, and Tom Brady blended their system, so Tom knew at least half of it. Which is to say, I think despite having very little success in the passing game, Cam deserves a chance in New England to show he can play better. Now the crazy part is, this doesn't even mean that Cam's gonna be the starter in New England. I think he has to compete, and I expect the Patriots to target a quarterback in the draft. But I believe Cam wanting to be in New England actually went a long way with the organization. It took 1 year for them to become a place players no longer willingly would compromise their bank accounts for. They no longer have that leverage or the mystique of being a desirable destination that will win no matter what. But maybe if Cam plays really well, that changes again quickly. Everyone applauded Tom Brady for abandoning the one team who gave him a career when that team needed him the most. Everyone agreed Brady finally got the love he craved from the Buccaneers and was treated like a star for the first time instead of a lowly peasant. Well, maybe if that pompous son of a bitch had the heart to just one time say that Bill Belichick was dope as shit or a cool dude like Cam did.
And this is why I love and respect. I think Bill Belichick is the most misunderstood person in all of sports.
100%, 1,000%.
He dope as shit.
Yeah.
He is a cool dude. He understands the game. He's like an historian of the game.
Then maybe the Patriots would have given him some power, some of that power he lusted for. Nobody talks about Belichick's feelings or emotional needs, but this homeless-looking football nerd bleeds just like the rest of us. Even he needs to be called a
cool dude
every once in a while to feel like he belongs in this crazy world. The Patriots had the second most cap space before signing Cam Newton. Not sure where it is now, but they do have the money to bring in some more weapons. Yes, Bleacher Report, Kenny Golladay could be that guy at wide receiver. Maybe John Brown coming out of Buffalo, Will Fuller, Corey Davis, Kendrick Bourne. Or my favorite idea, reunite Curtis Samuel with Cam Newton. Even though they never really got to sync up on the field in Carolina because of Cam's injuries. Plus, the Patriots draft at 15. There's going to be a massive run on quarterbacks early in this draft, and some teams may be trading back as others try to get up to get their arm talent. There are 3 great receivers at the top of this draft in Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle. So New England can go from having no catching weapons to a couple great ones via free agency and the draft. Unless, of course, they take Mac Jones at 15, which again, based on his body type alone, is the perfect Belichick quarterback. Now, Tom Brady also signed an extension today. It's basically the same contract witchcraft the Steelers used for Ben Roethlisberger, a 4-year deal that voids down to 1 year to save the Buccaneers $19 million in cap space. And Tom will stay on the Bucs through 2022. 2022, this mother licker is never going to retire because by the time his body starts to deteriorate, an innovation in modern medical science will already have a cure for it. We are doomed. Now, barring an injury, we're all but guaranteed to see Tom Brady play in at least 34 more NFL games, and certainly more since the Buccaneers are primed to be going deep into the playoffs every year. I mean, they do a damn good job drafting and in free agency. I'm not sure Tampa is actually getting enough credit for how well they have built a team that could easily repeat this season. Their first 2 picks last year were tackle Tristan Wirfs and future peacemaker Antoine Winfield Jr. Huge impact players for the Super Bowl run. Plus, they snagged Tyler Johnson in the 5th round and got Brady to join them, which got Gronk to join them, which led to playoff Lenny jumping on board. In 2019, they took a flyer on Shaq Barrett, Ndamukong Suh, and punter Bradley Pinion, who was just the 2nd best punter in the league in 2020. And then in 2019, just like in 2020, they dunked on the first 2 rounds of the draft with Devin White and corner Sean Murphy-Brown Bunting. Then drained a 3 in the 3rd round with corner Jamel Dean, Scooty, There's no way I'm the fastest player in the league, but let's pretend I am Miller in the 6th round. That free agency period, they signed center Ryan Jensen. Sure, there were misses in free agency and the draft. Every team has that though. But in each of the last 3 off seasons, they have found key players that have become cornerstones to that organization. The 2018 draft may have been their best. They got Vita Vea, Ronald Jones, Carlton Davis, and Jordan Whitehead. They have built their entire secondary through the draft, their linebackers and nose tackle. They have done the same with their offensive line outside of Jensen. Most teams don't make that many damn hits in the draft is what I'm saying. They've done a good job. And as much as I hate Tom Brady, I'm extremely impressed with the Buccaneers organization, especially because they're not even top 10, I believe, in most profitable organizations in the league. Just smart. They're just smart. And that's hard to beat in the NFL. Have they done anything wrong? Oh yeah. They signed an alleged rapist to help them win a Super Bowl, and they didn't need to. Other than that, though, nothing. And I did say alleged. Yesterday, you might have noticed I did a live stream here on this channel with Tom Grassi, Urinating Tree Ev, and 5 Points Vids. We're going to be doing a show every Thursday night live. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The 4 of us, it's going across all 4 of our channels. And don't use that first episode as an example of how the show will be because I screwed up a lot of things technically. There are some issues, but we're going to do a sports show through to the draft as a test. And if you guys like it, we might keep doing it. So that's a programming note. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube.